the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And there's a lot of news about, which is why I'm doing a news walk video today. There's a lot of news about. So I'm going to give you a little inside look into the Rabbi from Another Planet. How do I program, right? Well, basically, I turn the camera on and say whatever bollocks comes to mind. Really, that's really how it works. There's no secret sauce. That's genuinely what I do. But in terms of there being a method to the madness, I normally try and post a more general interest Doctor Who video on Wednesdays. Wednesdays I find I get the least traction, right? The thing I get the most traction from are these videos, news videos. People find news videos the most interesting, right? So I normally put them out on Fridays, anything for the weekend, so. No, I don't put them out on Fridays. It just seems to be a day where they go better. I've tried different days, different things, and this is what's working best for me right now. I should really, reevaluate. You got to constantly keep changing. So this is really taboo for me to put out a news video on Wednesday. It's like it's going to disappear into the ether. Well, not really. I mean, look, Doctor Who magazine comes out tomorrow. It's going to be full of stuff. We're getting closer and closer to Power of the Doctor, and it's going to be so bad. And they had the premiere last night, which means we're going to start getting reviews of it. And they're not going to be kind. Or previews, they're not going to be kind. I can't wait, all right? We're going to get the initial shill review saying, oh, Jodie was as good as ever. Oh, she's so good. Oh, I want to flick me my butt at her. How good she is. Oh, she's so great. Greatest Doctor Who ever. You see much Doctor Who? No. Greatest Doctor Who ever, they'll say. But then the real reviews will come. Actually, I don't know. I don't even know if we're going to get the shill ones, right? With Legend of the Sea Devils, Eve of the Daleks, and Flux. They're like, well, that was garbage. Wasn't it? Especially by the time we got the end of Flux. That was like, that was unwatchable pap, which is weird, and I say this every time. That's weird that I'm defending the Jodie Whittaker era or the Chris Chibnall era in any way, because I haven't liked it much. I don't know if I've been a little bit coy about it, right? I haven't been sure if you ever picked up on my subtle subtext that, no, not a fan. Not really a fan of the Jodie Whittaker era, right? I think that's fair to say. Not really genuinely a fan. That being said, I still think they got better as they went. I mean, they're still awful, right? They're still awful. I still think they got better as they went along, and I think if you had any writer with a modicum of talent could have taken the ideas, the cliffhangers, that Chris Chibnall had, and bang them into a shape of a watchable show. Like the cliffhanger of Jodie Whittaker turning us into a weeping angel. That was very good, right? The cold opening of arriving in, wherever it was, which Revolutionary War? I can't remember where they were supposed to be in the past, right? Oh, it had been the Crimea War, right? And it turns out it's not the Russians, it's the Sontarans. That was good. That worked. But you need to be able to thread these good bits together in a coherent plot, which Chibnall isn't able to do. What he does now is just puts as many things as possible there. So you go, what? He's just trying to confuse the normie, okay? The normie is like, what's that? Nobody never understands what's going on. See, we watch Doctor Who, we go, oh yeah, well, obviously, the Zyton 7B ore is what's needed to power the time. We just follow it, right? I even followed Ghostlight. It was some weird stone spaceship with an ancient godlike alien who was doing a survey of reality and found out things kept evolving and decided to wipe it out from reality. We have a destroy the Earth or destroy reality. I can't remember which. Maybe I didn't understand. I haven't seen it for a while, okay? But it was very good. You've got to be able to thread these cool bits together to make a coherent plot. That's really, I think, what the thing that really killed many things killed the sequel trilogy of Star Wars, right? They had good bits they wanted to put on. They had the idea of the Death Star wreckage underwater, Vader's castle, all these different ideas, a false ghost of Darth Vader, or basically a bunch of stuff. And they tried to find a way of working it, weaving it all together into one thing. Whereas Star Wars, they started off with a story, right? Start with a story, and then put the other things around it, right? that would actually be the way to go. If you want to see how to do a story, you can get this freaking awesome story, right? Freaking awesome story by signing up to my Substack. What is my Substack? It's my email newsletter, and I got a free one. I give out free stuff and that all the time. I have a whole treasure trove of old Doctor Who magazines and Blake 7 magazine and things like that, which I put, things that are out of print, digital articles, things I find interesting, old news stories. I just find that stuff interesting, right? If I find it interesting, I slap it on there. It's free, baby, right? It's essentially a tool so I can not vanish completely when I'm inevitably going to be cancelled, right? So please sign up to that. It's free. And again, look, this is me. This is my Jewy mentality going, right? I'm going, I told him it's free, right? I told him it's free. Because I don't understand why they're not. Because I did tell them it's free. No, you did tell them it's free, right? It really is. That's why my head's short circuit. So yeah, if you can sign up, that'd be great. Subscribe. That's also free. Thank you very much. But I used to have a paid level, and this month I'm giving out this graphic novel, The Imperium, a love letter to telefancy in 1960s, essentially James Bond, Doctor Who, Patrick Troughton's Doctor Who, I should say, Monkey in the Space Suit, Emma Peel, and the Black Slab from 2001 in one stonking not newsgroup. In one stonking super group together, you get the script, you get backup strips. I got the Ice Warriors in there. Freaking awesome! Freaking awesome! $5, baby. It's a deal! It's a steal! It's the sale of the century, baby! So yeah, if you sign up for that, hit subscribe, like, comment, all those things. All those things are a fan-dabby. And you know it. A quadruple dozy. Fine! Let's start looking at the many news stories. And again, it's incredible. These are all going to be washed away by Friday, right? By Friday, I'm going to have a whole new news story collection to go over. But here, let's start over here. Doctor Who. By the way, I did a live stream last night, and I started reading an interview with Jodie Whittaker, thinking it was this one, right? Thinking it was this one. And I get about halfway through it, and I realised it's from 2020. It was on 2021 or something. I was like, really? Didn't age well. Jodie Whittaker says she's grief-ridden about leaving the show. You should have been grief-ridden about what you did to the show, let alone leaving the bloody show, darling. I'm grief-ridden about leaving the show. Who will lecture the children? Oh, Eki thought, I'm still crying about it. I'm still clinging on to the coattails and reluctantly handing over the shoes. Nobody wants the shoes. Darling, says Whittaker, every creative decision that you made... Like, every creative decision you made was the wrong one. I mean, it's kind of like The Last Jedi, right? It's like, I mean, at least that one had a story. A terrible story in of that how stunning and brave women took over the rebellion and then lost and killed everyone. Essentially, Laura Dern destroyed. I don't understand. It's a real trait of girl bosses, which we see all the time now. That they are, they keep telling us they're the bestest ever. They're stunning and brave and can do anything. And then when we actually see them doing things, they're useless. I mean, that's how you describe Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who. Utterly and profoundly useless. Although, have to tell you, I can't wait for it to be gone, right? I cannot wait for it to be gone. There's so many people out there who are... kind of kidnapped by the ideology of this era of Doctor Who, which is so hateful and so divisive, right? It just hates anybody that's not. It is. I mean, like, really, you can put that clip from the Daleks in Chester and go, well, it's just a dislike of the unlike, isn't it? On a constant loop around the fandom of Jodie. But listen, there are good people there, right? There are good people there. I'm thinking of what's his name, cosplayer. Saw him on Twitter. Who's a really good cosplayer. Oh, what's his bloody name? Is it Don Martin or Don Martin? Don Martin was a guy from Man magazine, wasn't it? I can't. But he's a very, very good cosplayer, and I think he's an intelligent and creative guy. So he was talking about going to the premiere. We're going to be looking at that soon. I think he was saying that and saying it's so wonderful saying goodbye. And I'm like, oh, I just can't wait to get this out of the consciousness and get a Doctor Who that isn't insanely hateful to anybody who doesn't subscribe to its insanely hateful ideology, so we can all just kind of get on a bit better. Wouldn't that be lovely, right? Wouldn't that be absolutely fantastic? Anyway, she was I'm handing over the shoes. So it looked stupid. Everything about your Doctor was wrong. Like the culottes, the shoes, the gawkiness, the lack of ability and sophistication. There was nothing that we can go, oh, that worked. Oh yeah. That's a home run, baby. Speak of running, that didn't work either. I mean, honestly, you couldn't have found a stunt man to teach you how to run. I wouldn't take on the job of playing the doctor because I don't look good running. In fact, I don't run. I move slightly less slowly, right? I wobble slightly less slowly down the street. But and that's only if I'm being chased by a shark or something. Why am I being chased by a shark down the street? Okay, so it must be. I've got to start putting this on my Substack as well. I was putting out the old Dan Dare strips from the 80s. Nobody's reprinted those, okay? And I remember there was a bounty hunter that had a shark that would swim in the air, right? He would let off, he would eat people like that. I've got to start putting that stuff out again. I totally do that. It's also on my free Substack. Enjoy that. So that's if I was running from. Oh, that wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I mean, like, the thing's going to get me and eat me. I mean, like, I'll just, like, lean in and humble my throat up so I'll be over quickly. That'll be my philosophy, right? I have a neighbor who lives around the back of me who can run, right? He's super strong and can, I mean, like, insanely strong and got a really interesting background, but can run. And he puts, like, garbage bags on himself so he sweats more as he runs. I was looking out my kitchen window and saw him running once. I genuinely thought there was an invisible lion behind him. I've never seen anybody go like that. Go like the clappers, baby. Okay, Jodie Whittaker has admitted she is reluctant to leave Doctor Who after 5 years. Darling, we're reluctant for you to stay, okay? You know, it hasn't worked out well. Thank you for coming. Thank you for going. And I was lying about thank you for coming. Like, you know, you say about guests and fish, they both start to smell after 3 days. After 5 years, darling, it's rancid. The actor will put down a sonic screwdriver in a special feature-length episode of Doctor Who entitled "The Power of the Doctor." Not to make you think of Power of the Daleks. Oh no, not at all. Evil of the Daleks. No, that's not to make you think of Evil of the Daleks, right? No, not at all. Obviously, I suppose we're lucky they're not called, the caves of Androzarnot or something. He seems to be just trying to name it after the best stories ever. The talons of Wei Jiang. Appearing on BBC Two on Tuesday 11th, it's just yesterday, Whittaker said that she had an emotional roller coaster since filming her final scenes for the 13th Doctor last October. Did that emotional roller coaster involve being unemployable and not having your next job? Because that sounds emotional. I had a whole year to get my head around leaving, and I'm still not there. Really? You are having trouble working things out in that labyrinthian mind of yours, really? It seems to me you probably have a lot of trouble working things out in general, right? I don't think this is the only thing you're going to have trouble working out. I'm still crying about it. I'm still clinging on the coattails and reluctantly handing over the shoes. Nobody wants your stinky shoes, darling, okay? Nobody freaking wants it. The 40-year-old actor, well, okay, I think actor's a little bit stretching it, isn't it? On my thumbnail for our live stream last night, I had Jodie Whittaker next to Paddy Considine, right? Paddy Considine was just in House of the Dragon. Paddy Considine and Jodie Whittaker are the opposites, right? Paddy Considine took a dead franchise and completely destroyed. I couldn't care less about Game of Thrones, right? And I wasn't kind to it when it first started. Could not care less about it. And essentially through his performance, it's all very good though, for House of the Dragon, which came to an end in the last episode. This towering, layered, intricate performance of like real authenticity and beauty. Like, I absolutely love the character he created, right? It's tour de force, right? And he took this dead franchise and I think he breathed life into it in a major way. Now compare that to Jodie Whittaker. She took a vibrant franchise, right? A very vibrant working franchise, and destroyed it through her actoring. The 40-year-old actor. So anyway, I had them both on the thumbnail, right? And she's like, I'm right dedicated to my acting. And Patrick started saying, darling, you couldn't even convincingly fake an orgasm. Which I believe. The 40-year-old actor said that her final episode, which also coincides with the BBC centenary celebration, should serve as a fitting celebration of her time on the show. Oh, it's going to be shit then. That's what. Is that what it means? It's code for it. Shit. This should be a celebration for your time on the show, Eki Thump. So we're going to make it as bad as anything else. The only good thing to end with. It's only a good thing to end something. Well, to put it out of its misery, I think is a fairer description of what we're doing. And be just grief ridden because it was such a wonderful experience. There's no negatives. Well, there was the complete and total failure that you had. I mean, I don't know. Would you call that a negative? That sounds negative, right? That does sound a little bit negative, that you completely and totally failed. That doesn't sound positive, right? That definitely does sound like a negative. She added, sex educator Ncuti Gatwa will take over from Whittaker in the role of the Doctor next, and the actor saying he doesn't know what his new role will look like. Okay, neither do we. Luckily for me, I cannot ruin it. Well, you sort of did. I mean, look, darling, he's here because you did ruin it, right? Right? Yeah, I can't ruin it. I mean, you are. That's why he's here, right? That's why Rusty Davis, because you did ruin it. Now, what do I mean by ruin it? Let's define our what we're trying to say. I mean that you made unwatchable garbage and chased the audience away. That, generally speaking, could be considered ruining it, right? And I don't think I'm being cruel. I think it's a reasonably fair description of what went down, right? Don't you? I do. Here, let's look at the ratings. I always have to pull these up because it's worth a double take. So let's have a look over here. Yeah, that's called ruining it, right? That is called ruining it. But of course, people just blame Chibnall because Jodie Whittaker has a vagina, so that puts her in protected status. I can't ruin it. I can't give away any spoilers because I don't know. God, look how she talks. I don't know nothing. Well, we can tell, darling. We can tell you don't know nothing. Really? It's the English language. You need to fuck that too. As well as Doctor... No. Oh, I was trying to keep this expletive free, but I didn't get very far. Unfortunately, there's only so much you can do. Whittaker added, I know nothing. Because I know nothing. I know you know nothing. Because I know... Okay, whatever. Whittaker added that despite not meeting Gatwa yet, she has left him multiple WhatsApp messages. Ncuti, mate. Ncuti. And Jodie. For charity. Release those. Do it through Big Finish. Release those messages. Jodie Whittaker and acting in Doctor Who. Release those, right? For charity. We'll have a fundraiser. I'll pay $10 for that. I think we can get thousands of people. We can raise a lot of money for charity. Please release those, right? Like whatever charity you want. I don't care. Transgender research. I don't care. Release those WhatsApps. They've got to be gold. They gotta be. If the Chinese are watching or the Russians, which obviously they are, they monitor everything. Apparently, or the FBI. The FBI will probably be able to do it too. Can you please hack Ncuti Gatwa's phone and then post these messages? I mean, look. We're heading to World War III. We're heading to. I don't know what we're heading to. Right? We have so many mass population reduction events we're heading to, right? I didn't realize this last night. We're heading to mass population reduction event. We've got war, right? Probably nuclear. We got famine. Hey, now we're at record low farming rates. You farmers, don't do any more of that. No new farmers. We got famine. We got economic implosion. We got energy crisis. So we got all these I saw people having fist fights in France now. They got you get 8 gallons of petrol, don't you? It's crazy. I mean, you know what it really feels like at the beginning of one of those 1970s, 1980s end of the worldy things on children's TV. The Changes, for example, when you see everything just break down. It's like watching that, right? It's like watching that. So honestly, I think we're gonna have a cascade of population reduction events, right? I think and one's going to cause another, right? But so before that happens, release these WhatsApps. We need a laugh, mate. We need a laugh. Message for the actor playing the Doctor, and has been very generous to actually reply to her. I don't know who you are, but can you fuck off and leave me alone? He thought he lost me. Whittaker became the first female doctor taking over the role from Peter Capaldi, which is one I think is driving a lot of the deeply woke statements that Rusty Davies... I mean, also he's deeply woke, right? But I think one of the major things driving the deeply woke statements that keep coming out from Rusty Davies, like, Russell, keep your bloody mouth shut, darling, is the idea that that he's going to erase the first female doctor because she was shit. What do you want at me? I was on board with it, mate. I was on board with it. Have I never seen the Time Lord battle against the well-known enemies like the Master, the Daleks, and the Cybermen? Dun dun dun. Wait, when Centaurus don't get a look in? Never mind. So this interview was also reported over here. So this is from a couple of days earlier. No, this is what I'm saying. I exist on caffeine level 10. Jodie Whittaker bids emotional farewell to Doctor Who. Well, I don't know. It's funny. This is from the role-playing game, this image. It's so much better than the publicity still they put out for the Power of the Doctor. Maybe we'll see that later. It's really, really naff, right? Really lazy. Fine, let's skip all this. Blah, 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 blah. 23rd. Oh, airing at 7:30 till 9, which means it sucks for me because I'll be doing my review at 9:30, which is 11:30 for me. Bloody hell! And the next day I've got to go to a sodding wedding. I mean, I normally avoid going to weddings. I hate going to weddings. But okay, we'll go to a wedding. But I got this the day before. Help me! Oh, heaven help me! Oh, a lot of. The BBC announced a goodbye celebration for the first Doctor and blah blah blah. Episode will feature blah blah blah. What should we expect from the episode? For it to be shit! Right? That's what you should expect, right? The BBC claims that the 13th Doctor will be shown resolving mysteries. So she won't. She hasn't recovered. I mean, I don't think that's in her wheelhouse, is it? To resolve mysteries? She normally stands around and flaps as somebody else does the work. Such as, who is attacking the rapid train at the edge of the distant galaxy? And how is there an edge of the distant galaxy? Most of the galaxy was destroyed in Doctor Who Flux. And, that's really not a plot point you want to let fall through the cracks, which is falling through the cracks. The disappearance of seismologists from Earth in the 21st century. And also paintings going missing as well. And it's going to have some kind of crap resolution, isn't it? It's going to be something embarrassingly bad. She'll have trouble figuring out the one replacing history's most famous paintings. She'll have trouble figuring out everything. She's a moron. Okay, and I'm not being cruel. They write her as a moron. Am I being cruel by pointing out? Being a little bit cruel. Well, you do your best. Reasons why a Dalek would try to get in touch with the Doctor and the effect of Rasputin's enchantment had on Tsar Nicholas in Russia 1916. What was the experience of Jodie Whittaker? Awful. The experience of Jodie Whittaker is always universally awful. Jodie Whittaker spoke to media about her experience playing the 13th Doctor, describing her nerve-wracking experience and an amazing opportunity. It was amazeballs. Amazing opportunity to play the Doctor, who was practically remade on the screen with all the possibilities that it tells. What? Describing the nerve-wracking experience and an amazing opportunity to play a figure who was practically remade on screen. All the possibilities that entails. Yes, you went for the possibility of making the Doctor a clueless moron, right? Who faps around, faffs around, I should say. It was just unbelievable. She continued by telling me how much she enjoyed the dialogue of her regeneration. Oh, Icky Thorpe! It's simple and majestic. Oh, I want to scissor Yaz one time. Oh, I should scissor her one time before. Oh, too late. Off I go. Simple, majestic, and exquisite. Okay, there's nothing that you've ever done which is simple, majestic, and exquisite. I used to, when my daughter was little, she went to ballet, and with the other parents, I would impersonate her doing ballet. I was like, I didn't do that for her though. What I did do for my kids, right? I'm a rabbi, I might mention, right? So on Friday night, you have Friday night dinner. Oftentimes you invite people round, like this religious Friday night dinner. And, the kids are all sitting around the table. And oftentimes I was, especially when we had guests, I say, okay, children, if you all behave, I'll tell you which one is adopted. They all look just like me. They all act like me. In different ways. I tell you, my older son is living at home now for a few weeks before he starts school, and it's weird how he says exactly the same things as me. I came upstairs after a live stream last night and opened the fridge. Now, we just had a big Jewish holiday, so we should have been full of freaking leftovers and food. My wife had frozen them and put them away in the freezer. So I opened the fridge and it's like the cupboard was bare. Like, what? Where's all the food gone? My wife and my daughter looked over at me and they start laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? It's like, your son just said exactly the same thing. So there you go. Fine. She continues by telling the media how much she enjoyed the dialogue of her regeneration. So blah 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 blah. She continues saying it was the sequence which captured the single take, and her lower lip began to grow as she when she saw how happy the crew was with the final shot. Oh, I keep up. I'm gonna start crying. By the way, you see Jodie Whittaker still from the trailer here. This is the worst part of the trailer. Everything of it looks quite good, and then Jodie shows up and goes, "Hey, not bad, me. Yeah, keep up." Fine. Okay, so it's Jodie's speaking. Jodie's talking. Who else is talking? It's actually something I'm reasonably interested in. Nicola Bryant, right? So here's the thing: when she's talking about the sexual harassment that she's experienced throughout her career. So this is an interesting one, right? Because I haven't made any bones about the fact that Nicola Bryant is forever entombed in my psyche as my go-to masturbatory fantasy. Like, well, Nelly, what do you want me to tell you? John Nathan Turner squeezed a very attractive, buxom young woman into spandex and put her on screen as my puberty hit. What else is going to happen, right? What else is going to happen? But yeah, she was, I would say, way overtly, extremely sexualized. But just in the same way the violence was overtly turned up for her main season, right? Season 22. And I think the violence was turned up because Eric Saywood just didn't know what to do, right? And he didn't want to quit. He liked the job. He liked having a job, and so we got season 22, which has had big highs and big lows. But I think the extreme sexualization of Nicola Bryant, again, which I am a victim of, and I'm quite a happy victim too. I am a victim of is because John Nathan Turner saw that men generally speaking, can't really control themselves around a super, super hot woman with big boobs in spandex, right? Or less, right? Men are just, myself included, right? And so he will be able to get people to watch his show. And like he was kind of very Svengali-ish about controlling Nicola Bryant. Here's the thing. Nicola had an intense power, which was beauty, right? It wasn't just beauty; it was sexuality. Like she had a very, very distinct, strong sexual power because she was super insanely hot. In spandex. I mean, I really can't overplay the spandex role, right? I think that translated into blurring the lines between fantasy and reality. So the fantasy is that like it's fantasy sex doing the casting couch, right? But if you compare, normative fantasy is a young lady dressing up in a schoolgirl outfit, right? Now that's kind of kinky, kind of sexy, kind of Centrinians-ish. Turns me on, right? The idea of having sex with a schoolgirl, not so much. That's disgusting, right? It's the fantasy versus the reality. When you blur the lines, that I think was very, very much done to Nicola Bryant. Again, she was you say yes, she consented to wear the costume and everything, but the culture of the time was that you either consented to that or you became a plumber, right? If you wanted the job, which is the entirety of the Me Too movement. The reason Me Too, even though I think that became disingenuously used very, very quickly, right? Very, very. The core complaint of it is true. The reason I think feminism has strength is because the core complaint of it is real, right? It's the modern feminism, which is just like this hateful ideology, right? So this is where the complaint is real. So again, speaking of somebody who has lusted over Nicola Bryant, and objectified her basically my entire life, right? And again, Nicola, I'm genuinely sorry. I wish I wasn't. I honestly, the only person I have any form of physical sexual contact with is my wife. I would never touch anyone. I've lusted after you my entire life, right? My entire freaking life. And like now I'm in my 50s. I can really say, I look back at, well, that's actually a good 35 years of lust right there. It really is. Fine, they'd offered me 2 sitcoms if I slept with them. Doctor Who star Nicola Bryant, 62 claims, and she's had a fair share of sexual harassment. I mean, the reality of it is breathtaking, right? It really is. She spoke about this on the DVD, on the Blu-ray for season 22 when she was being interviewed. And one time out of 3, somebody would always slap her ass or feel up her bum as she went into the television centre. Right, to which the only appropriate response was to turn around and kind of smile in a say thank you. It's a really bizarre, right? And again, I am not on board for the hateful feminist ideology of today. I'm equally not on board for this shit. I mean, what the hell? This is what we call wrong, right? Wrong. Doctor Who star Nicola Bryant claims that she had her fair share of sexual harassment. The actress explained she was pestered by TV bosses to sleep with them to secure another acting role. I don't know. How do you not feel disgusted with yourself? Like, I'll be too disgusted with myself to have sex. I'll be like, oh God, this is so gross, right? I guess that's me for you. During her stint on Doctor Who, she appeared alongside Peter Davison and Colin Baker in their incarnations in the titular role, right? Doctor Who star Nicola Bryant claimed she faced fair share. I don't think it was a claim. I mean, calling it a claim's a bit dickish, isn't it? I think she did. Sexual harassment. The actress, 62. I mean, what am I going to do for a thumbnail for this? Because all my thumbnails for Perry are like insanely sexualized. So I'm going to have a bit of a think about this one. The actress 62 who played Perry Brown on the iconic show from 84 to 86 claimed she was pestered by TV bosses to sleep with them to secure another acting role, and it was carried on well into a later stage of her career. Well, listen, you have this intense sexuality around you, right? About you, which doesn't deal with age. It actually gets a little bit hotter. I hate to tell you, it does get quite a bit sexier, and you can't turn off, personal sexual charisma. Right, my big example of that is Gillian Anderson playing Margaret Thatcher in season 4 of The Crown. Right, Margaret Thatcher, the most sexless person I've ever seen. Right, the anti-Viagra of human beings. That no matter how horny I am, one picture of Margaret Thatcher will put me at half mast. It doesn't fail. Right, Gillian Anderson played Margaret Thatcher, right? Gillian Anderson, super sexy. And again, yes, she's beautiful, but it's also a sexuality from within inside her, right? And she completely nailed the role of Margaret Thatcher, right? She looked and sounded exactly like Margaret. It was an incredible acting job, but I wanted to bang her. I don't know what to tell you, right? You can't turn that shit off, darling. Look, I find everything is what's the word I'm looking for? A vindication of my worldview, right? Of my Bible thumpy religious worldview. I think women, like men, should have personal agency, right? But I think it's part of femininity to want to beautify yourself, to look good, to look beautiful, right? It's and it's something that everybody should be allowed to do, right? It shouldn't be a problem. But I think it needs to be tempered with the idea that if you make men too horny, everybody's life gets miserable. I'm not saying people who dress provocatively and get sexually assaulted deserve it. Not at all, right? I'm just dealing with the basic reality, right? The basic reality that we all have animalistic urges, right? We all exist with those, right? Like all human beings. Nicola's gone on to star in My Family and Holby City. Also admitted she turned down acting roles in the past that would require her to have sex with her bosses. I just don't get it. Like I like it's because you know why this goes on. It's because it works, right? How often must it work? 1 time out of 3, my guess, probably more. It used to work 4 times out of 5 in the past. Now it works out 1 out of 3, my guess. Speaking on the My Time Capsule podcast, Nicola explained that such harassment on TV bosses took a huge toll on her mental health. So you see, this is where the fantasy and reality meet, right? The fantasy of the casting couch is sexy and it's fun. Right, the reality is horrible. Right, the reality is absolutely horrible. I don't want to tell you. It's I mean, you don't understand how I don't understand how vulnerable that and powerless that would make somebody feel. Right, it's hard. It happened to Brendan Fraser. It basically destroyed his life. It's terrible, right? It's really absolutely terrible. She said it's a showbiz luxury, Me Too issue. I think I've had more than my fair share. It leaves me insecure and terrified, and I'm very, very, very sorry that's happening because look, okay. Other than being deeply sexually attracted to Nicola, which I am, what do you want at me? Other than that, I understand she's a human being, and a human being shouldn't be made to live in this situation, right? I've had it in all different shapes and forms. I'm 62. You'd think this nonsense would end, and it's still going on. Yeah, can't turn off the sexy switch, Nicola. That's basically it. You can't. I mean, look, again, what, you're in your 60s there, and I love that you love the dogs. I mean, I love dogs. I think that shows such a good part of your nature, right? And that makes me horny, because it's Nicola Bryant. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? So I'm sorry. I'm a powerful man. I'm sorry that we're very horny around you, but we're very horny around. Like, imagine this, okay? This is the way to understand male sexual drives. Imagine a man is a heroin addict and a woman is made completely of heroin, right? Now, the men understand that the women are human beings, right? And need to be treated like human beings. But they're also made completely of heroin, right? So you got that dichotomy going on. They take you dinner and say, can I offer you a reality show and 2 sitcoms if you sleep with me? Like a banking deal. No! You're not allowed to do that, right? You're not allowed to do that. There was a director, and we were on the train, and he said, my flat is just 1 minute away. Would I take the script for his next job? So we walk around the corner, and he pounces and goes, this is your job. It's a massive role, but you've got to sleep with me. What the hell? I mean, just really? No. I ran out. I haven't spoken to him since. It's terrible, right? But then again, I mean, again, this is why you are have remained in my spank bank all these years, right? Because that memory is never going away, baby. Nicola went on to claim that one showbiz figure even flashed as private parts at her. So this is what showbiz people like to do. A lot of them really like to show their junk off, and I don't really understand it, right? This is the thing, like that Louis C.K. was into, right? And I again don't really understand it at all. I turn around and he's got something. Turn around and he's got something out and he's putting it on the desk. I was like, I'm like, really? Why would you put your dick on the desk? Well, that's weird. Going on to reveal that she rejected some roles in the past that required her to have sex, she added, it turned into a conditional job. I'm so tired of it. I'm like, when does it end? When I'm 70? When I'm 80? Never. It's been in every layer of the industry. It's terrible. It really is terrible. During a stint on Doctor Who, Nicola appeared with Peter Davis and Colin Baker in their incarnation. Oh, they are not accused of any wrongdoing. I'm glad to hear it. American botany student decided to join the Doctor when he defeated the Master and witnessed the regeneration he sacrificed to save her from Spectrox poisoning. In her final appearance, she ended up marrying Brian Blessed. I mean, I don't know. What was worse for her, being in spandex or marrying Brian Blessed? I'm not sure what to tell you. But yeah, listen, it's that's a horrible and distressing story, right? Horrible and distressing story. Listen, it's like a bunch of factors came together, and there's not really much we can do about it, right? Unfortunately. Fine. So let's say, but speaking of 80s companions, let's move on to this next story. Bonnie Langford returning to Doctor Who as Mel. Now, I have it on many sources that Sophie Aldred genuinely thought the centenary special, The Power of the Doctor, was the 60th anniversary, and it was her only chance to celebrate her character. That's like that. They told everybody it was the 60th anniversary, right? Janet still doesn't know, which is an incredible thing. Former EastEnders star played companion Melanie Bush in the 80s. Much better on Big Finish, right? If you want to hear Mel being as good as Mel could have been, there's a few good Mel stories. But an early one, The Fires of Vulcan, it's like $2.99. It's a great Sylvester McCoy season 24 story, historical, really good. Okay, really good. Bonnie Langford set to return to Doctor Who more than 35 years after she played the role of companion Melanie Bush in the beloved sci-fi show. Langford starred as Mel from 86 to 87 alongside the 6th and 7th Doctor, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy. It appears to be returning to the TARDIS according to Mirror. Although Langford has not appeared on TV on the TV series since the 80s, she has reprised the role of Mel in numerous Big Finish things, recent collaboration with Rusty Davis. Oh! Yeah, that gives the story credibility. Mind of Hodiak, which is awful, right? It's really, genuinely, properly awful, right? I just avoid it, right? Damaged Goods, however, which is also another Rusty Davis script, very good, right? This is awful. Mind of Hodiak, terrible. The collaboration came in. That collaboration came in The Mind of Hodiak, a script based on Davis originally wrote as a 23-year-old in a loft during lockdown. What? There was no lockdown when he was 23 years old. What the hell are you talking about? Oh no, he found it during lockdown. He didn't write it during lockdown. Now it seems Langford could be returning to Doctor Who on television. Look, David Tennant did say a lot more things are happening than we know about, right? So that's good. I think that's kind of exciting. Fine. Langford will be That is a long line of stars that appear in the show. So they're talking about Sophie Orr and Janet Fielding in The Power of the Doctor, while David and Catherine are in the 6th anniversary. So Bonnie's for the 60th, right? For the 6th anniversary. And if you want a little bit more Doctor Who, Fortnite Doctor Who event, what could a crossover include? Could a TARDIS materialise on a Fortnite island? I don't care. I don't play Fortnite. I'm too old. I don't want to think about it. Leave me alone. This is the Doctor Who man was out of the Fortnite creative earlier this year. I did not know that. Oh, I do remember that, right? So when could it happen? New crossover being Doctor Who and Fortnite has yet to be confirmed in any official sources, but it won't hazard a guess. We predict the Fortnite Doctor Who event could be tied or would be tied to promote the impending Power of the Doctor. Why? That would be a bad idea. Jodie Whittaker final episode. I mean, could be. I mean, shouldn't we know by now? If it's something timing wimey the Fortnite in the near future, we'd expect something around that weekend, right? Will there be Fortnite Doctor Who skins? What could a potential Doctor Who event in Fortnite actually include? One thing that fans would love to see is Doctor Who skins. I guess so. You can play as William Hartnell, Crystal Eccleston, David Tennant. Yeah, that's a good idea. So, but again, it's not for me. Good luck. I hope you don't include Jodie Whittaker at all. Sadly, she did need to be included into this story, which I think is where we're going to wrap up today. Jodie Whittaker offers a stylish teal suit as she joins Mandit Gill and Session 1 at the premiere episode of the final Doctor Who episode at the Curzon Bloomery. So, let me see if I make this a bit wider. So, we're going to start getting the reviews and previews soon. So this is why I'm doing this news walk video today. Jodie Whittaker's stylish figure in a green teal suit attended the world premiere of Doctor Who, Curzon Bloomery in Mayfair. The Broadchurch star will reject blah blah blah. Also intended to with Janet Fielding, Sophie Orr, who reprised the role of Tegan, Javanka, and Ace respectively. Ace, Doctor. I mean, she even looks crap at these like publicity things. I mean, like, you destroyed Doctor Who, darling. You absolutely destroyed Doctor Who. Meanwhile, Amanda, who played the Doctor Companion and love interest Jazz, excuse me, sported a chic white three-piece suit as she posed with her co-stars at the premiere. Like, Sasha looked like he just got dressed and came out. I mean, she looks probably quite good. Bit lesbian, bit like the pantsuit's a little bit Hillary Clinton, darling. Just more pictures. Yeah, we can see the publicity still behind. It's so freaking lazy. I mean, I don't know. Maybe go for something with a bit of a rainbow, something that matches your Doctor. Something that makes you think, oh, I like Doctor Who. No, nothing. Joining the pair was Sasha, who reprises the role as the Master. A longer-awaited final trailer. It's only longer-awaited because we want to get it over with, right? This Sunday, October 23rd, the eponymous character will have to take on the blah, 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 blah. Okay. I'm like, how short must Janet Fielding be? She looks like a hobbit. I don't know. Hey, how's this, Cobber? I'm back going to be a star again. No one's going to notice this, Janet. No one's going to notice this. Saturday one who plays the Master can be seen telling the Doctor, this is the day you're erased forever. We can only hope so, right? We can only hope that Jodie Whittaker's going to be erased forever. Dalek incursion of Earthman within that Tegan Ace will be reunited with the Doctor after decades apart. Jodie's role is going to be taken by Ncuti Gatwa. I mean, she even looks shit posing next to a Dalek, which is shorter than, right? If you're going to get your tippy toes to look in the eye stalk of a Dalek, you're a little person. Okay, you are. Okay, Mandem looks okay, and that's the only reason Mandem has a possibility of a career continuing, right? That's why she got that West End thing with Tom Felton. Tom Felton, I'm surprised he wasn't cancelled because he didn't say J.K. Rowling was pure evil and the worst person ever. This is the director and what's his name again? Jamie Magnus Stone. Jamie, mate, keep your hair long. It keeps you look sexually fluid, which is the only thing that matters today, right? It doesn't matter. You're actually very good at your job, and he was very good at his job. Like he was the force behind keeping Flux moving, right? And that made it to a normie look like Doctor Who. Shooter's going to be the first black Doctor. Blah blah blah. God, I hope his outfit's not like that. Like this is just weird, mate. This is just weird. Is there anything else? I think we're done. I think it ends. Put the comments. Last of the summer wine in the police box. Bring the next virtue signaling box ticking AC/DC ABCDEFG contestant. Just go. This is happening. This is the general. She should be rebooted. Darker adult. Stop all the wokery and pandering to all the next things. Okay. Chris Chibnall, the modern-day vampire, has kept driving stakes in the Doctor Who franchise until no one, especially Jodie Whittaker, who herself didn't do it any favours, could survive the outcome. Well done, Chris. You succeeded where all others failed. Well, Michael Gray did the thing. Maybe the immediate family members will tune in, but nobody else will. Jodie's a brilliant actress. No, she's not. Sadly, damage is done by the BBC since she took over the event. It's a huge challenge for Russell D Davies to retcon it all adequately. If he will retcon it too, word on the street is he will be lecturing at. He's going to be lecturing at his predecessor. I don't. Never watched. Okay, yeah, it's not gone well. Okay, Jodie, it's not gone well. I think it's fair to say none of this has gone down well. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.